Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So, time to mod the Merv. So, I picked up these fully max batteries, which I had mentioned to you guys about when I got my did my unboxing for my HSP truck. Anyways, turns out on the length side, the length is actually really borderline because I can't tuck in my balance connector properly. So then I thought, well, what if we pull one of the water vents out, slam her in there. Okay, that fits really good. I can close the one side, but the other side, there's no way to close it. But I also have, if I put this back in, I can then close it, but then I got the vents in the way that I got to cut the vents out. Okay, because you need this vent in there because that's your other retainer clip for your door. Okay, and we got to make a slight modification to the door. So I want to show you how we're going to do all that. So just to save a bit of time, I already pulled some stuff apart. Took the vent off. It's like one screw, no big deal. And of course, I took the wheel off. So anyways, we're going to take a X-Acto blade. You can use a Dremel if you want to. I'm going to use an X-Acto blade and heat it up and melt the pieces out carefully. Oh, this is actually a little harder plastic than what I thought it was. Interesting. Okay, that's one. That's the bottom edge. Okay, I'm going to stop the camera here and I'll come back as soon as this is done, but you got the idea. You got to get these vents out carefully without disrupting the main part of this frame because you need that intact. We'll be back. Okay guys, so that's all cleaned out and I heated up the plastic a bit where any sharp edges were, flattened it all out, smoothed it up. So now we can put this piece back in. So, now the reason why I went with the front for this is because I didn't want the balance lead to get caught up in the back end because it's too close with the overhang that's going to happen. So I figure if I go with the front, this works out a lot better. Okay, so now you just got to fiddle around with the balance lead a little bit to get it through the hole. This is what happens when you buy batteries that are slightly longer than you should have bought, but you know, I thought I had the measurements right, but nothing in this world is perfect. Now, this is going to create a lot of pressure to close that, and it's going to start pinching on the cables. Okay, so to alleviate some of that stress, because it's also going to make it very hard to undo later, or now, let's, there we go. We're going to have to make a little modification to the door. Okay, so we know we're okay there. So we're going to have to cut a little piece out of the doorway. Not very much though, just a little sliver here. So we'll heat the knife up and we'll get a little sliver out of there. And that should be it. And we'll hook her up and show you how it looks. So don't go away. Okay guys, so modification complete. So I heated up the knife. I ran out of butane in my torch, so I had to use this shotgun lighter. But yeah, it worked. Gotta get more butane. Anyway, so what I did was I carved a section of the lip about I'd say 3/4 of it down. Okay, and so that's all done now. Balance lead connector hangs out the front, which is good, and it's safe because nothing's going to get in the way of it. Back closes good, and the front closes really good too. And of course now real easy to undo, no problems. So good little mod. So if you want to use a larger than normal lipo because you screwed up like I did and ordered 2 of these a little bit too long, but these are also a little larger capacity too. The stock NIM packs are like 1200 milliamp. This is an 1800 2S with a 25 by 50C burst. And I thought I had the right measurements. My width and my thickness was good, but my length was just a little bit too long. And but that's okay. It's going to work good. If you want to further the mod just to relieve a little bit more stress, you can carve a little bit off the edge here. But you know what? I really wouldn't worry about it. As long as it clicks and locks in place, you're going to be able to beat the snot out of your vehicle with no problems. Balance lead, like I said, is completely safe. Now to plug this in, everything just stretches across this way because these power cables are more than long enough. Now if you buy a 2-cell battery with shorter leads than this, then you're going to have to go off the back end, in which case you're taking your chance with the balance lead getting clipped by the rear end, at least this way. Now I got these at RC Hobbies Direct, or sorry, RC Hobbies Outlet.com. They're in Canada. But anyways, these are the only 2-cell small lipos they have on their whole website, so you can't screw up ordering them if you want to use these. Just be aware, you're going to have to make these little mods. But even if you order the Fully Max or another brand that's a little bit too long, then you're going to run into this problem. You're going to have to work around it, and this is the easiest solution. And nothing's going to get tangled with the balance lead. It's all going to be fine. This actually compacts the wiring harness, so now you don't have wires sticking out your tires. Like that was one of the problems I had running 2 6-cell NIMs, is the wires all come out the ass, and then they at times folded down and under and dragged and got caught in the tires. And it's like, oh, that's so frustrating, right? And I wanted to run lipo. This thing can run lipo. I want to run lipo. And so I thought I ordered the right ones, but at least I can now use these, because I can also use these same lipos too. I'm going to be buying an HSP 116 scale buggy, and it uses this exact lipo as a replacement lipo, even though it comes with a 2000 apparently. But it's a good replacement battery for it, and so I can use these on the Merv as well as the new machine. So let's close this in and see what it looks like. Let's get our tire back on here. But I mean, at $28 a lipo, I wasn't gonna, return them and say, oh, sorry, I ordered the wrong stuff, and blah blah blah. Let me just zoom out so you guys can see more what the heck's going on here. Sorry about that. Because I knew I'd be able to use them no matter what. But I am so sick of NIM packs, because with the NIM packs, even just letting them sit on the shelf for a couple weeks, you got to top them up every once in a while, whether you're using them or not, because they just drain so quick. Where lipos, they hold their charge for a long time. You don't have to worry about it. So, and lipos have more punch, which is also a really big thing. So there you go, all closed in. Everything's protected. Nothing can get harmed. And I get to use my 2-cell lipos now. So, awesome little mod, guys. Doesn't take much. I would definitely recommend hot knifing those plastic pieces out carefully, just because the one part of the frame is delicate, where the screw is up front here, where that screw is. So you want to be very careful, because to cut that out with a Dremel, it's a one-shot deal. The hot knifing, you can just heat up the blade and just clip, and then clip, and then take the blade and go down into this area with the blade hot and flatten that out so there's no sharp edges, and then just carefully use the edge of the blade, or actually a good new blade, and just make sure there's no sharp edges on there for the balance lead to hit, and then you're good to go. So now we want to take our battery out. It's real easy. Kablammy. You want to put the battery back in. Real simple, one finger. Kablammy. Make sure it seats in there. Clipped in. You're ready to rock. Now, the other reason why I also went with this side of the vehicle and not both sides, I'm not hooking the two Lipos up in parallel because apparently you're not supposed to do that with two Lipos with this ESC. So, I figured, okay, I'll just run one, and it still keeps the weight actually really good because the Lipo really doesn't weigh squat compared to a NIM. And if you give me a second, I'll go get my scale, a NIM, and the other Lipo, and we'll weigh them up and show you what the real difference is in weight. So, don't go away. Okay guys, so I got my scale out, and I have it set up in ounces. So let's weigh the NIM first. 4.684 ounces for the stock 6-cell NIM pack. 4.685. It's all settled out. 4.685. $3.329 for the 3.327. So 3.3. Come on, settle out. 3.324 roughly. Okay, now it's all settled out. 3.2. And this thing is still moving a little bit. Let me reset this stupid scale. Okay, NIM pack. Okay, 4.774. Now that was the NIM pack. The Lipo in the same spot. So 3.39, 3.390, 3.39, 3.89. I don't know why that's monkeying like that. Must be the weight of the cable pushing down. Let's try it this way. There. Let it sit for a minute. So 3.625. 3.625 versus 4.7. So 3.6 versus 4.7. So about an ounce difference roughly. Okay. So that little bit of extra lightness, you know, does help. Lighter the better, right? So now I got two of these Lipos. I only need to run one at a time, especially with 1800 mAh. Like I said, these are only 12, you know, and this has got a crappy discharge rate, and it's NIM pack, right? So you lose power right away, where the Lipo is going to keep the power up for quite a long time before it just up and dies. So the next thing I got to do, of course, is set my ESC up to run Lipo, and we'll be good to rock and roll, and we'll give this thing a road test. So stay tuned for that video. That won't be today because it's pitch dark outside right now, but hopefully tomorrow or the next day we'll see how the weather goes, and we'll see how the little brushed Merv moves out with a Lipo in under the hood. So we'll catch you later, guys. Have a good one.